fam. This is Minister Eileen Nicole. Welcome back to the Book of Acts 101. We are going to go over some news today. So, Purim Day, um, I did not record on Purim Day. There was supposed to be a big announcement, but apparently that announcement is not going to be made. So I do apologize to everybody that was waiting on that announcement, but that announcement is not going to be made. Furthermore, I'm not going to be doing any type of things like that. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be doing some news. And so let's talk about some of the news here. All right. So the first thing is we're going to be talking about just a little icebreaker here. Let me share my screen. All right. So growth is a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn. Give yourself some grace. Shout out to Steve Harvey for going ahead and putting that post up. That was pretty dope. Um, one of the things that I want to talk about today, speaking of mistakes, I want to talk about some things that happened today. So right now here, we're talking, this is on the Breakfast Club. Um, Breakfast Club addresses Angela Lee on Tamron Hall. So she went on Tamron Hall and comments on the lack of women during her time at the Breakfast Club. Um, he says her comments wasn't true and says they talked on the phone and she's going to clarify what she meant. So um, but Angela Yee is like infamous in my opinion. In my opinion, she's infamous for not really supporting women. So to throw out there that there's no real women on the show, she's basically saying that she's she has to kind of go with what the guys think because she's majority rules. But I want to look at this time we're here. Now we know that in this climate of the Black community, Black women are walked all over, talked about. We're the butt of everybody's jokes. So it really does matter if we stick up for each other. It really does. And in the world of he ain't talking about me, so I ain't got to say nothing. That's over. Like nobody wants to hear that. If that's how you feel, then we just won't support you, and we won't support that. That's toxic. That's a toxic way to think about women. Even if you don't know her, you should at least say something. It's real easy to drag Black women these days and get paid a lot of money to do it, or just sit back apathetic and act like it doesn't concern you because they're not specifically talking about you. That's weak, and if you're that weak, then stay by yourself and let those men help you when it's time to help. Let's look at this right here where she goes in. K Michelle drags Angela Yee all over the Breakfast Club. It got ugly between the reality show star and the radio host. So K Michelle stopped by the Breakfast Club this morning to promote her latest album, More Issues Than Vogue. But things took a turn for the shadiest when the singer confronted co-host Angela Yee for some comments she made. The bad blood all stemmed from Kay hoping Angela would have her back when rappers Mano and Soulja Boy said her lady parts had an odor. What I'm going to say, Angela, is that you're a woman. Even with you, you're a woman. The singer started. I think that I've been very cool and very supportive of you. The interview was over. The credits were running. You brought that back up. It didn't get brought back up. I'd seen it. You brought it back up, and then you was the, instigating when he said he'll sleep with me. You was all like, ew, you're nasty. Continued to scold Angela, K. Michelle made it clear she felt the host broke the girl code by allegedly instigating the messy comments. There are certain things, especially as a woman, you don't want these bodies on you. You know what I'm saying? She said, especially from a soldier boy, she said it wasn't even about them. It was kind of like, come on, Angela, like, dude, these niggas right here, they don't give a, but you being a woman and you see me and you brought it back up. So that to me screams insecurity. You must be insecure about K. Michelle. So you bring up the fact that these men have badmouthed her, and so that makes you instantly feel a little bit better about yourself. And maybe you do feel like you're piled up with all these different men, and this is why you throw women under the bus. Like that's really the long and the short of it. You throw women under the bus because you feel like you're one of the guys, but also you know that you're a woman, so so you can get ahead of other women or in front of the line in the eyes of these men. Well, throw this woman under the bus because she's not what you want. You're what they want, because we know that Gucci Mane threw you under the bus, Angela. Like he was like, no. But we see this all the time. It's horrible that this all took place publicly, but this happens all the time on the back end where women throw other women under the bus because they have some type of insecurity about either the woman or about themselves. Um, so I just feel like that's what's going on here. I don't support Angela Yee. I don't watch her show. I don't watch the Breakfast Club. I think that the Breakfast Club is not something that is a very serious show. It could have been a serious show, but it's not, because they get on there and clown and laugh and joke, and when it's about really serious issues like politics, they want to pull hot sauce out of politicians' bags. Like, our community isn't in a disarray, and hard questions need to be asked, and we need answers, and we need to know how some of those resources were going to come to our community. But instead of that, the most pertinent thing was for them to dance and for them to joke around and pull hot sauce out of bags. Like that, for me, I mean, I just, in all of them, every single one of them had an obligation. If you're going to bring a politician on, you ask the questions that politicians are expecting you to ask. But when it comes to the Black community, you get these players in front of a politician, a serious politician that can make some moves, and you sit there and laugh and joke and play. And so now it seems like as a community, we don't have anything together. We don't have nothing together. The only thing we want to do is eat and put some hot sauce on our food and play on the radio. So I don't think that the show is serious. I don't take Angela Yee serious because she doesn't take herself serious. They only take themselves serious when it comes to getting a bag. They don't come. They're not here for the community, and it shows in the show. They're not here for Black women. They're not here for Black men. They're here only to get a bag. And here's the thing. It's it's long been gone when people who are in position to care about a little bit more than just themselves, because you should care about yourself. But when you're in a position where, okay, you're okay, it you should be now focused on how can you help the community. If that's not um, something that's important to you or something that you think you should do, you're not obligated. You're right. We should never support you, though. We should never support people who do not care about the Black community, but yet have a Black face on and want Black support, right? It should be some reciprocity. And so this is what I'm saying with Angela Yee. She's expecting reciprocity, but she's not willing to give it because she has some type of insecurity. This is rampant in the Black community, and it needs to stop. So there's my little rant about her. I don't like the behavior. I don't know them personally. I just don't like the behavior, what I'm seeing when you guys are in positions to make moves that help and assist with outside of just your own personal gain. Now here's another one here where she got, with the whole little mama thing where they made little mama cry and she just sat there. I mean, like, I felt so bad. Excuse me, guys, I'm kind of sick, but I felt so bad for Little Mama when all of that was happening. When she when Charlemagne made her cry like that, she just sat there. And I'm just like, really? Is that what we doing? Her, DJ Envy, they just sat there like, well, it's a black woman, so who cares? And so that's what I'm talking about. Like the apathy towards black women, but we're supposed to feel sorry for her. Different if she was an advocate, but she's not an advocate. She's actually the opposite of an advocate. Angela is no advocate to black women. So aside from the lip gloss Raptors, TV personality Erica Mena while working on the podcast during an interview with Tamara Hall. So Lil Mama has a few words to say to Angela Yee after the latter lamented her hard times while working on the Breakfast Club, saying she felt like the only woman working there. The Lip Gloss Raptors slammed the podcast host on Instagram. Let's see, let me make this bigger. So when appearing on the Tamron Hall show on Friday, March 3rd, Angela opened up about working on the famed podcast before leaving it after 12 years. It was the only woman, I was the only woman who worked there too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me to be in. I feel like I did need more like backup, because even things that I felt as a woman, somebody can't understand your point of view because they're not coming from where you come from, she added. So that was hard for me too, to be the only woman there. Girl, stop trying to play us out here. Stop trying to play us out here. You wanted to be the only woman there. The token. You wanted to be you wanted to stand out. And when you got there, you didn't even know how to handle yourself. But that's you. That's you. So now everybody's supposed to just run to your aid. You didn't help nobody. You didn't help nobody. Angela came, she faced the most backlash compared to her co-host Charlemagne and DJ Envy, which we know that's not true because Charlemagne is a whole douche and, DJ Envy just sits there. So we all know that that's a lie. Everybody becoming, especially for Charlemagne, with his predatory behavior. Sometimes I would feel like I got it harder than Charlemagne did for some of the things he said. She said it, and so I also want to make it clear that we're all three individuals. You say what you say, how you feel how you feel, and I do too. But it's hard because people affiliate you with the whole group. Now, here's the thing: you're in a group. You're in a group. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Your job was to stand out and have your own opinion about these things. You was going along to get along, and everything was fine as long as you was getting a bag. So, but now that money is drying up or whatever, your fame is waning. So now you want to speak out. Now you want to speak out, girl. Bye. And nah, I'm not buying that. I'm good. I'm good on Angela Yee. I'm good on her and the Breakfast Club. Yeah. So on to the other news, another mistake here is one person is deceased and others injured after concert goers pushed towards exit following the GLORILLA and Finesse 2 Times concert. Officials say people thought they heard gunshots, but there was no evidence of a shooting. Look, why do they all look like this? Why does every rapper look like this? Everyone. This is a person that I really want to go away. I want GLORILLA to just go away. Go away. I think she should be exiled from the Black community because she's a fool. She's an idiot. One person has been confirmed deceased and several others have been injured after concert goers rushed toward the exit following a concert that featured GLORILLA and Finesse 2 Times in Rochester, New York. I mean, it's just the energy that rap is bringing. Rap is bringing the I don't care about you and you shouldn't care about me energy. So this is what's happening at the concerts. Look, at this point, if you don't know that these are rituals that are being done, these are rituals that they're using to, for one, to get attention on what they're doing. And for two, if somebody gets hurt, it's for whatever reason, people want to go more. They want to go and see more. It's not even that deep. But these people, it's the energy that they're putting out there in the streets, and then it's in the name of the Black community. Well, the Black community strikes back. We don't want degenerate men and women in the Black community. I think that they should be exiled from the Black community. I don't think Black people should co-sign degenerates. She's a degenerate, and so I don't know this dude. I don't know who finessed 2 times. But if he's pushing killing each other, thought culture, if he's pushing I'ma see your girl, if he's not pushing anything righteous, which is what should be coming from the Black community, because here's the thing. Black people are hollering all day about reparations. Like that's the right thing to do, right? But that's the pot calling the kettle black. Don't talk about the right thing to do, and we ain't willing to do the right thing. And the right thing is to exile these two fools out the community, and not just them, but anybody that's pushing genocide in our community. And she is pushing it for sure. So Rochester Police Chief David Smith reassured that EMS performed life-saving measures for the 3 severely injured women, including the woman that was announced deceased. He also said that law enforcement will be looking into the number of people in attendance, code violations, and liquor license issues as potential factors that led to the incident. Now, you're right. Who is finesse 2 times? Man, I do not know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're all pushing genocide and selling it to you at a concert. And then you wonder why people are dying. I know y'all don't remember. I know y'all remember this. Hold on. Stop this show! Stop this show! Stop this show! Stop this show! Houston, Texas, make some motherfucking noise real quick, y'all. Stop this show! Stop this show! Cell phone flashlights in the air, y'all. They said they told him to stop the show 5 songs ago. And now this nigga look like he's conjuring up something. Look at this. Look. Look like he's like literally trying to conjure up something. Look at him. Look. Hold on. It looks like he's literally conjuring up something. There's no music coming on. There's no music. No music. He's not rapping. He's not paying attention to the crowd. He's focused. What the hell is he doing? I told you, these are rituals at this point. These aren't the concerts from the 90s where you go in and have a good time and you just linking up with people, and you just might see somebody at the concert. And usually concerts like that from back in the 90s, that was just something to do. These concerts now have become to where you go to worship this particular person. Back in the 90s, you just went there because it was something to do. And this is what they're doing. You going there to worship this person, and this person is worshiping, conjuring up some type of. Look at this. This man is conjuring up a freaking demon. I mean, it's the strangest thing. Now, let's look at Astro World. Astro definition. All right. Look what they have. In the Urban Dictionary, a satanic ritual held by Travis Scott who can stop a concert for his shoe, but not for the people who suffocated and dropping dead. This is in the Urban Dictionary, y'all. That's what they have on here. A satanic ritual held by Travis Scott who can stop a concert for his shoe, but not for the people suffocated and dropping dead. Now, again, mind you, he was sitting there conjuring a freaking demon. In my opinion, that's what he was doing. What else was there? What else was going on? I know he heard them telling him to stop. A psychedelic rap album. Look, stargazing. So let's look at psychedelics. When you go through psychedelics, um, the psychedelics is relating to or denoting drugs that produce hallucinations and apparent expansion of consciousness, right? So he's telling you to um, take these drugs. Remember, there was a lot of people that were there at this music festival. These festivals now, they do take drugs, and usually it's like just marijuana, not like light, but they're usually, you don't know what now because this opioid epidemic is happening. They could be taking those things, but also listen, astral projection, also known as astral travel, is a term used in esotericism to describe an intentional out of body experience that assumes the existence of a subtle body called an astral body or body of light through which consciousness can function separately from the physical body and travel throughout. So, what he's telling you to do is take psychedelics and astral project, an astral world. That's what this whole thing was about. This whole thing was about astral projection.
Is walking across up there at the top. What is that? Garrett Tenney is live. What is that? Walking across up. Anybody want to tell me what the hell that is? Walking across up there at the top. What is that? Garrett Tenney is live at the scene.
All right. So basically, excuse me. Basically, that's what he was doing. That he was sharing, he was sharing his love of the worship of demons, right? Hold on. What? All right. So let me. And so I say that to say this. This woman is doing the same type of ritual at um, at her concert, right? Offset just, or no, not Offset. Takeoff was killed in these types of in this type of setting. Now it wasn't a concert, but it's the same type of setting where it's around a bunch of energy that is not becoming of on the up and up. There's no peace within the vibe. If you're going to hang around some people, you better make sure there's some peace around there. They were shooting dice, which is runes. They were doing, listen, people are doing things their own way. People are sitting here worshiping God the way they want them, or they're all together turning around and worshiping God the way they feel like worshiping Him. But let me tell you, you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose every time. Listen, GLORILLA is not going to be held responsible for anybody's death. She's not going to be held responsible for anybody's death. You shouldn't this. People, they're not bringing peace to the table. So why should you support that? I don't understand why people have to die for people to say, "Oh, well, that's that's not something that I want to get involved in." Why? Why do people have to die? Hold on, let me share this other. I'm got sick in the last couple of days. And the crazy part about it, all of this, is that GLORILLA is one of these people that she's just she was used to hang out with Dolph. She used to be with Dolph, but you know, then she ended up signing with Yo Gotti. But look at this. Look, I know y'all gonna laugh at me and call me slow and stuff, but I'm gonna admit to it first and still say, "Yo, mama," GLORILLA wrote. But anyways, I haven't eaten any pork for almost 5 months now, which is a good thing. We shouldn't be eating pork. Tell me why I just found out ham is pork. I mean, after what she talking about? What she gonna eat for Thanksgiving? Listen, I understand not knowing something. Did you need to share this? Did you need to share that weren't even you didn't even have enough in you to look up what was pork or what's considered pork, so that you know what you're not supposed to be eating? Right? No due diligence at all. This is what's going on with this woman. It's so strange to me. It's so strange that people follow this woman. She didn't know that ham was pork. All right. Then she says, during an interview with UK radio station Kiss FM yesterday, this was last year in October, she says she admitted that she didn't know that foxes were real. I didn't know that the foxes were a real animal. Like, really? This is what I'm talking about. These are the people that are in positions to make moves or help to facilitate building a better Black community. But these are the people that are being pushed in front, pushed right here in front of your face, like the only thing you need to do is know how to rap and be a degenerate. It sucks because this is what the face of Black women is. And I have a right to say this is not the face of Black women. This is the face of a woman who wants attention. This is the face of a woman who has taken 30 pieces of silver to sell women out, and then men, because eventually, let me tell you something. A woman like this, if she's willing to sell women out, she's more than likely willing to sell men out. There's no way that she would not sell a man out. We see what happened with the young Dolph. This woman has no integrity, is what I'm saying. She doesn't even think enough to not say things like this publicly, because she has nothing else to say. She has nothing else to say. She's not well read. She's not in. And listen, you don't have to be all those things, but once you shut up when you know that you don't have anything more to offer. This woman needs to be exiled from the Black community. We should stop supporting her, and she should go to college like Meg did. At least you don't hear Meg, as much as I don't agree with the way that she be moving with the whole extra thought culture. I don't. But you don't see her out here making statements like this. Mm-mm. Nope. Don't see her because she at least knows enough not to be making dumb statements. And yeah, she may have gotten into a pickle with her deal, what, but that's business. At least she's, trying to do some business. This woman right here, I don't like the fact that she was in front of Planned Parenthood. I'm pro-life, so I have a strong opposition to people who take abortion lightly, who think that it's a game or that it's a joke or that it doesn't affect the Black community, because it does, right? So, um, but yeah, I'm done with this woman, and I've reported on her before, and it's the same thing. All right, on to other news. So, y'all, 4 U.S. citizens were kidnapped by gunmen in Mexico in case of a mistaken identity. This is where they were. Um, and 4 U.S. citizens were assaulted and kidnapped by gunmen in northeastern Mexico on Friday in a case of mistaken identity. A U.S. official with knowledge of the investigation told CNN. The Americans were believed to have been targeted by mistake and were not the intended victims, the official says. The investigators believe a Mexican cartel likely mistook them for Haitian drug smugglers, the official said, adding, investigators have not identified any concerning criminal history on the part of the Americans. The Americans had traveled to the border city of Matamoros, for medical procedures. The official said, citing receipts found in the vehicle. Wait, Matamoros is like infamous though. Um, ain't this the one? Um, this is this is the state where they have, gosh, what is Matamoros? Okay, so there's been a lot of wars right here in Matamoros. But Matamoros, I heard there was something else going on with this. Um, what else? It's also a migrant state. They usually, I think they stay here, waiting on to see if the U.S. is going to accept their citizenship or not. Hold on, because so the Gulf Cartel currently controls the border cities of Matamoros and Reynosa. Y'all, Matamoros actually has something else. I've looked this up before, and it wasn't just that. Hold on, let me see. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let me check this out really quick because everything is just happening in the last couple of hours with the kidnapping, but Matamoros is also something else. I know that they have um okay. I know that they have yeah, it's a migrant camp. That's what it is. It's a refugee tent city. That's really what it is. Why would they be going there? Look, I was kidnapped at the US-Mexico border. Look at this. Y'all, hold on. It's gonna be a commercial. Hold on.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically,
Y'all hear me?
and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments and design your storefront down to the very last detail. Get all the tools you need. Drive more sales.
All right.
Nos paró una patrulla de
Hold on.
los polinegros y nos paró una patrulla de
Fair use of the video. This is for entertainment and teaching purposes.
que le llaman los polinegros y nos solicitó documentos. No puedo asegurar si eran personas que pertenecían a algún cártel o si eran policías verdaderamente. Como mi amigo no traía los documentos, dijeron que teníamos que acompañarlo a la unidad de la policía. Cuando nos montamos el auto, nos pusieron unas capuchas. Cuando me quitan la bolsa que llevábamos en la cabeza, todo está lúgubre, oscuro. No tenía ubicación de tiempo y espacio. Pensé que se acababa mi vida ya.
Esto es para que sepan que están secuestrados. Van a tener que llamar a uno de sus familiares, si no me los voy a quebrar.
Migrants trying to reach the U.S. are money makers for smugglers, corrupt cops, and organized crime. This asylum seeker is one of thousands of migrants who have been kidnapped, extorted, or killed in Mexico en route to the U.S. He shared his kidnapping video with us.
You're in this house. What happens next?
Toda persona que secuestra lo que hace es implantar el terror para lograr su objetivo. ¿Qué hicieron? Nos golpeaban, nos violentaban el sueño, nos amenazaban constantemente que si no pagaban nos iban a matar.
Vale más, ahorita va a tener que...
I mean, what kind of, like, seriously, like, just on both sides, right? So as the people that's being kidnapped, you have to be in an utter terror. Your heart has to be beating at least a million miles a minute. But also on the other side of the people that kidnapped him, he said that they didn't let them get any sleep. That means they didn't get any sleep. He said that they told him the whole time that they were going to kill him. Do you know how much that's taxing on the spirit, on the soul? Do you think this was their first rodeo? No. I mean,
hacer una llamada porque si no me lo voy a quebrar. Quiero $4,000 por los dos.
Ponen a mi amigo que tiene su esposa en los Estados Unidos que hable con su esposa.
Márquele. Pero si no me lo voy a quebrar. Ponle un altavoz.
Nos tienen de rodillas con las manos detrás. La esposa contesta, le arrebatan el teléfono y hacen la negociación con ella.
Esto es un secuestro. Tengo secuestrado a su esposo y a su amigo. Quiero que me...
Like, that has to be the worst feeling in the world, to know that your husband has been kidnapped, and now this person is on the phone talking about, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. Oh my gosh.
Deposito $4,000. El número de cuenta que le voy a mandar. Si no me los deposita, lo voy a matar.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he just says it so nonchalant. It just flows off of him like water. Like he's just drinking water. Like, if he doesn't do it, I'm going to kill him. He's not nervous. He probably does this a lot. Oh my gosh.
Soy cubano.
I'm Cuban.
Salí de Cuba en septiembre del 2018. Volé Cuba a Guyana.
Guyana, because it didn't require a visa to enter.
Había visado libre. Siempre desde
From the
que
moment I
pisé suelo
in Guyana,
guyanés, me convertí en una mercancía.
Like
que ya tú
you lose your name, you lose everything, you become a number.
Pierdes tu nombre, ya tú te vuelves número porque estás en manos.
Because you fall into the hands of human traffickers, fam. Do you see this? Human traffickers. That's what's happening. This is 4 people got kidnapped for mistaken identity. They thought that they were Haitian drug runners, right? No, they knew what they was doing. They knew exactly what they was doing. Americans got, listen, the world around us, the the resources are being depleted everywhere. And so if you're an American, they already know we have access to something. Even if we don't have the money, we have access to the police who may possibly, in their mind, might pay the ransom. But that doesn't always work. Oh my gosh. Because you fall into the hands of human traffickers.
De personas que lo de ellos es la trata de personas y constantemente
Your life is
la vida está en
constantly in
peligro
danger.
a través.
So he already understood what was happening before he even got to the Mexican border. So basically, it's more of the same thing. More of the same thing. It says, I crossed the jungle of Guyana, the Brazilian forest, and Peru.
Atravesé la selva de Guyana, atravesé la Amazonía de Brasil, atravesé Perú, atravesé Ecuador.
Across Ecuador. In Colombia, I had to cross the famous Darien Gap.
Colombia tuve que pasar la famosa selva del Darién o el tapón del Darién, que es
the land between Colombia and Panama. Now we know Panama, you heard of Escobar, right? And the way he ran that country or that island.
Intersección entre Colombia y Panamá. Ahí viví
I went
momentos
through a terrible
terribles.
time
Eso
there. I can't describe it
con
with
palabras no se puede describir.
Oh
Eso
my
hay que
gosh, you
pasar
must
y
live it in
vivir
your
esos
flesh.
eventos.
Oh man, to understand what it is. Oh my God. I mean, I get it. I get what he's saying. There is no word to sum up the atrocious experience.
Para poder entenderlo. Después que
After I arrived
llegué
in
a Panamá, Panamá sí me recibió
we were received by the border guard.
la Senafrón o la Guardia Fronteriza,
And
donde
they
nos
placed us
alojaban
in
en
camps.
campamentos, unos
The
campamentos
camps were in terrible
que
condition because
sin condiciones algunas,
the camps
que ahí, al ser un costado
they
de la
were located right next to the jungle, and there was
selva, ahí no hay
nothing.
ningún tipo de condiciones. Y fui
I
pasando de
went from one
campamento en
camp to
campamento hasta
another
que
until I
Panamá nos
crossed
pasó a
into
Costa
Costa
Rica.
Rica.
Costa Rica
Costa
también nos
Rica, we were
recibió
received by
el personal de inmigración.
officers.
Atravesamos
We
todo
crossed
Costa
Costa
Rica
Rica
hasta
until
que
I
llegamos a
reached
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua,
De todos los países,
all the countries
Guatemala
across the Guatemalan police and armed
es
forces.
donde
Look at, did you see he went from Cuba, flew to Guyana, and this is, I don't believe that they're necessarily, they may be in, like vans, but I think they may be walking.
de todos los países, Guatemala
Guatemalan police
es donde los militares, la policía, más extorsión.
are the ones who extort migrants the most. This is sad. Migrants and immigrants are interchangeable because you're not, it's the same thing. When I looked it up, there's no legal definition of migrant, or there is for immigration, immigration, they're tying it to asylum seekers, but asylum is illegal. Immigration, it's a little bit more legal than asylum. Asylum means that you're going to be taken care of because you're fleeing a country where your life is in danger, or you feel that you have every right to believe that your life could be in danger for political views or for war situations. But migrants, there is no legal term. So when they say the migrants are coming over, these are immigrants who are trying to get over here without the same visa or the same process that it takes for everybody else to get here. They want to kind of jump in front of everybody and get in before the people who are trying to get in legally. Now, again, Matamoros is one of those places where they're living and staying at. to get into the U.S. to see if they can wait on their green card. But a lot as of late, because of the President Joe Biden, a lot of them are they don't have to wait on those things, and those are being waived. Not these, it's not their fault because they're being allowed into the country. Here's the thing: it's not being prioritized the way that it should. It's ransacking cities, and this is why you see governors all over the country shipping them to places where these Democrats said that this was okay. Well, then let them go to y'all's backyard where y'all should have provision, and y'all should have order, and y'all should have a process of processing these people coming into the country if y'all the one that voted it in. But they don't have anything together. They just waived it without thinking about what was going to come next. That's what it's looking like to me, in my opinion.
Al inmigrante.
They follow every bus to see if it has migrants in order to extort you. This is crazy.
De todo ómnibus para ver si cubano o emigrante para pedir dinero. Al final siempre no llegaba un
Talk
arreglo.
to them and sometimes agreed to pay $50 or $60.
Lo pagaba 50, 60, pero su tarifa es de
Their fee is
$100.
$100.
He finally made it to Mexico and the US border. But after stepping foot in the US in 2019, he was sent back to Mexico to wait for his immigration case under a Trump-era policy known as Remain in Mexico.
Yeah, so like I said, that's the normal way that it was going, where you have to wait before you can't, because it's unfair to the people who applied to become naturalized citizens or to get a work visa or to get a student visa, all these other different classifications that you get for the visas, even travel visas. These people already submitted their documents, they went the way that the law states here in the US that you have to go. But I understand they are in dire straits, but there's still a process. And the reason why there's a process because we don't have unlimited money. We don't. So there has to be a way and an order to it, or everybody, we're going to be broke. Our country is going to be like anybody else's if we don't contain it. But I understand. I'm not saying that they shouldn't come in, but there should be an order to it, in my opinion.
And that's when kidnapped. Mexico. He was kidnapped. Mexico to wait for his immigration case under a Trump-era policy known as Remain in Mexico. And now kidnapped. These kinds of extortion calls and videos are shockingly common. They're usually only seen by the victims' families, but on rare occasions, they're shared by the victims or their relatives. This video of Indian men kidnapped en route to the US made its way to TV in their home country.
Tomorrow you need to pay. If you do not pay tomorrow, we kill our values.
The Cuban asylum seeker was released after his friend's wife paid the ransom. He was forced to wait in Mexico another 15 months. In February, he was finally allowed into the US under President Biden.
I wonder why you decided to share the video with me.
Porque de cierta manera quiero denunciar al mundo lo que ocurre aquí en México, el nivel de inseguridad que hay aquí en estos puntos fronterizos tan plagados de violencia, de secuestro.
Do you think that by sharing this video, that by telling your story, something will change?
No es que vaya a cambiar, pero es
not
un
that it
ícono,
will
un
change
principio
so people can
para que
begin
las
to
personas
know
vayan conociendo el riesgo
the risk
que
that
pasa un
migrants take
inmigrante cuando solicita
when they
asilo en
ask
los
for
Estados
asylum
Unidos.
in the US. All right, fam. That's sad to see. It really is. But at the end of the day, again, we only have so many funds that we can just divvy out on foreign policy. We have a limited amount of money based off of taxes, and we're already funding another war. So I don't know. But anyway, so back to this article. The Americans had traveled to the border city of Matamoros for medical procedures. the official said, citing receipts found in the vehicle. Now, they went to a state or an area where that's not what, I can't imagine what they went to Matamoros for. It was only, this place is only for migrants waiting to get into the US. That's basically what it is. It's just like Puerto Peñasco or um in Mexico. It's only known Rocky Point. It's only known to party. Like you're not gonna go there for um you know, to buy land and settle there. You're just going there to party. There's other parts of Mexico if you want to buy that you would go. This place is only known for where migrants are. I'm sure there's the locals that's been there for, forever, but that's not what people that travel there for. Anyway, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador offered a similar explanation. The information we have is that they crossed the border to buy medicines in Mexico. There was a confrontation between groups and they were detained. Look, did you remember how he just said that that they said they was police officers? Remember that man that was kidnapped? Didn't he say that? There was a confrontation between groups and they were detained. The president said the whole government is working on it. Mm. The incident highlights the ongoing violence in some Mexican cities, which has been racked by organized crime at least since the Mexican drug war began in 2006, as well as the growing business of what's known as medical tourism. Now, I do know that there was somebody that died recently that went to Mexico and died because they went and got, like, I don't know if they got a BBL or if they got liposuction. They went and got some type of cosmetic surgery and they died there. So I do remember that. The missing Americans who were not identified drove into Matamoros on Friday in a white minivan with North Carolina plates. The FBI in San Antonio said they were fired upon by unidentified gunmen and were placed in a vehicle and taken from the scene by armed men, the FBI said. This is the van, I guess. Wow. A member of the Mexican security forces stands next to a white minivan with North Carolina plates and several bullet holes. Man, that sucks. An innocent Mexican citizen was killed in the encounter. U.S. Ambassador to Mexico Ken Salazar said, "We have no higher priority than the safety of our citizens," Salazar said. "This is the most fundamental role of the U.S. government. Officials from various U.S. law enforcement agencies are working with Mexican authorities at all levels of government to achieve the safe return of our compatriots. The FBI is seeking the public's help finding them and identifying those responsible. The agency announced a reward of $50,000 for the return and the arrest of those involved. The FBI said it is cooperating with other federal partners and Mexican law enforcement agencies to investigate the kidnapping." So they did say that there is a red alert that is, let's see here. The Mexico travel advice, exercise a high degree of caution with regional advisories, entry exit requirements, addition of information on the tourist card. So it's imperative that you do check these types of things before you go into a different country. But these are the different countries. Avoid non-essential travel to the following areas due to high levels of violence and organized crime. All of Chihuahua and Colima, except for the city of Manzanillo. Coahuila, except the southern part of the state below the Saltillo Torreon Highway corridor. All Durango, except Durango City. All Guerrero, except cities of Ixapta, Zihuatanejo, Taxco, and Guanajuato. Highway 45 between Leon and Irapuato. But these are some of the different areas. Nayarit, Yeah, Sinaloa. Remember, we know about the Sinaloa cartel, so you definitely wouldn't want to go there. Sonora, except for the cities of. So just stick to. It says all Sonora except cities of Hermosillo and Guaymas, San Carlos, and Puerto Penasco. So this is Rocky Point. I would just stick to Rocky Point, guys. Like, just if you're going to go to Mexico, just stick to Rocky Point. Um, and, watch your back. These people didn't go there thinking that they were going to be detained like that, but they were. And the reason why is because they were not prepared. They did not know that they should not be going to a country without checking, especially a country like Mexico, or a country like, if you're going to go, like Colombia, if you're going to go to any of the Haiti right now is in a really horrible state right now. You don't want to go to different countries and you don't know what the politics are looking like. It's Russia. You can't go to Russia right now. China's on alert because China is a major ally to Russia. So you shouldn't be traveling this, or you should know what your politics are. People don't think that politics are important until something like this happens. And then you're like, everybody in the third world is political savvy except for people who have the luxury of having people handle it for them until something like this happens. And then still somebody has to come in and handle it for you. That's not okay. It's important that we know our politics and where we should and shouldn't be going, both in the country and outside of it. All right. Well, this has been today's episode. Hopefully you are going to be checking out to make sure what you're going to be doing. So just a quick recap. We talked about Angela Yee and how she is unsupportive of Black women, but is going on shows on TV, Tamron Hall, basically pandering for support from Black women, and it's going to be a hard no for me. Okay, Angela Yee has thrown multiple Black women under the bus. Erica Mena said she knew that he was married and never said anything. So why are you hanging out with people when you are that shady? Like, just don't hang out with them. Just don't hang. Like, if it's not your business, then get out of there. We also went over GLORILLA and the situation that happened at her concert. Like, just be careful where you're going. Right now is a very volatile time, not just outside of the country, but inside of the country. You have to understand the terrain and the vibe and the spirit of what you're supporting and what you're not supporting. Because listen, right now spirits are they're very active and interactive, and entertaining the wrong spirit can get you caught up out here. Make sure that you're reciprocating good energy back and forth. Make sure you're watching what type of events and adventures you're going to, and make sure that you're checking what you're doing when you're going outside of the country, like in Mexico, like in Russia, like in China, like in Haiti. Make sure that you know what you're doing and where you're going, how you're going to get from point A to point B. And not for nothing, fam, it might be a good idea to hire security if you're going to go out on a trip. If you can't hire security that's going to be more alert, then don't travel. It's not worth your life. Also, you should use the same discernment and discretion when you're traveling inside the country, because they could be your last trip, all because you just wanted to get up and go. It's different if you're just going to the store, right? But most people have the alert apps that alert you if some kind of crime is going on in your city. Most people have that. We have to get used to keeping our head on the swivel. And then I'm not saying living in fear, but we need to keep our head on the swivel. All right. Well, again, it's been real. I will see you guys tomorrow with more news. Love you. Bye.